Hello and welcome to the video. This is a European Extreme speedrun of Metal Gear Solid 3, all camouflages. So I will collect every single camo and face paint that can be obtained during the run. There are 17 camouflages and 6 face paints.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
This run also achieves the FoxHound rank. The FoxHound rank will grant us the final face paint that cannot be picked up during a run, the Infinity face paint. I also get both achievements associated with face paints and camouflages. That is only Skin Deep, which is all face paints, which you must get the FoxHound rank to achieve, and the Fashionista achievement, which is all camouflages, which you can get without getting the FoxHound rank. The final time for this run is 1:25:05. There are no camouflages or face paints during the Virtuous Mission. In this room we're just going to set up for a quick headshot. So we use the auto aim to lock onto a guard and then stand on our tiptoes using the shoulder buttons, and that will align the gun perfectly with his head. That allows us to execute headshots very fast. We use that multiple times during the run. This next technique is called a bump roll. So we nudge into a guard and then roll really late and use the large hitbox of roll to knock the guard out as late as possible, allowing us to get into the load zone trigger. I'd just like to assure everyone that this room isn't difficult. I've just managed to mess it up both times when doing a commentated video for YouTube.
This is HQ. Control here. The enemy is attacking from an unknown position. What's going on? Respond. There's something wrong. Support unit, confirm their status.
After the quick headshot, we're going to attract the attention of the guard that's on the high ground, and he will begin walking towards us. So he'll face away to walk down the stairs, and we'll just put 2 auto-aim shots into him, and he will fall asleep before we get into his vision.
He's a
So yeah.
This first room with guards in Snake Eater is very precise. We have to roll at the first tree just before it, and that will make the first guard notice us, and the second guard will notice the guard noticing us. Now we must hug the wall really tightly, and we're going to use this stun grenade trick. When you cook a grenade, it will silence your footsteps on certain terrain. This room contains the first camouflage of the run. After we execute these two rolls, we're going to use CQC to knock out these two guards. You can actually execute a CQC grab from really far away, commonly called a scorpion grab. These rolls to get Raindrop from under the bridge are really precise and you can easily fall to your death. Before we start the Ocelot Unit fight, we're going to pick up the cardboard box, which is on top of these crates. If you don't get the box here, you can get it later in the warehouse. The Ocelot Unit is a very tricky fight. It's 10 guards, which we're going to take out all non-lethally. At the start of the fight, we'll go into the options menu and equip the Mark 22, which is the gun we'll use all through this fight. We'll also equip the cardboard box for later. The first guard, we need to get a body shot on. So we'll aim out the window, and as long as we don't hit him in the head or miss, we can continue the fight. Second guard can be a body or a headshot, but it's timed. And now a guard will sweep from left to right. We'll hit him once and then roll over the box and throw a stun grenade through the doorway.
Let's go take a look.
Once we've checked all those guards are down, this roof guard will appear and we'll have a small amount of time to headshot him. We're going to lean in the doorway so the roof guard can't see us. We need to make sure this guard is down before we move. And now there's a long range shot on a guard at the back by the tree. And then we're going to use an auto-aimed headshot just by standing in the right place, and I use D-pad to confirm my position before I fire. Now this fight's complete, we can pick up the zombie face paint. It's situated behind the building where Sokolov is being held. In this room you'll find the Gecko Camo. You essentially just run straight north, jump over the crocodile, and then swim. It's a little bit awkward to find. We're still going to go to the left side rather than taking this right side into the next room, because we want to pick up the hand grenades, as we'll still need those for the pain fight. Anytime you swim in the water here, you will get leeches attached to you. Just make sure you remove them once you get out of the water. That cutscene is random. I'm not sure what the chances of getting it, but I'd estimate about 10%. You can get the crocodile hat here, but it's not considered a camouflage or a face paint. It actually goes in the item menu. This is one of the rare examples of rooms in the game that have 2 camouflages or face paints in them, but we're only going to collect 1 here. Certain camouflages appear later in the game if you don't get them early, and this is one of them, so we only actually get the Choco chip camo during our time in this room. The HD collection has a few unintended glitches, and this is one of them. You can push the box against this part of the electric fence and it won't electrocute you. If you do that on the PlayStation 2, it will. The Choco chip camo can be found in this hollowed out tree trunk to the left. This next room contains the snow face paint and the water camo. We are on a timer here, we have to pick up these 2 camos quite quickly. When you are in intrusion view and you come out, if you come out backwards, Snake will do a slower stand-up animation, so that's why I turned around before I came out. Once we've picked up water from the roof, we are hoping that a guard will notice us and you'll see the voice line play on the subtitles. That's going to put the guard in a more favourable position to deal with. The plan here is to shoot a barrel, which will make the guard in our path turn around to face it and go on his radio. While he's on his radio, he won't be looking in our direction as we head towards the Ocelot fight. So we kill 2 guards using barrels and make the other one go on his radio so he's not looking at us.
What's wrong? HQ.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We're under fire. Enemy position unknown. Commencing alert status.
Acknowledge. Sending reinforcements. Use extra caution.
If you use a lethal gun against Ocelot, he doesn't count as a kill, because in the story he doesn't die. But we do need his camo, and boss camos are only awarded for non-lethal victories. Ocelot's camouflage, the animal's camo, is one of the best camouflages in the game. It prevents your aim from shaking when you're below 50% stamina, and it's also exceptionally good camo in the mountains area. Almost all European Extreme runs utilize the animal's camo. Once again, I'd just like to apologise for the state of my capture card. I am still waiting on my new one, and hopefully we'll be able to see what's going on in this first cave room in the future. So we're going to take a little detour before the pain to pick up the snow uniform. We have to do a section of crawling here, and we need to make sure that we don't pick up the shotgun. As I've mentioned before, ammo in this game is dynamic, and if you pick up the shotgun, you replace some ammo spawns in the game with M37 bullets, and we always need those to be Mark 22 ammo. After we've picked up the snow uniform, there's a long crawl section to get back to the pain, but there is actually an out of bounds glitch you can do, similar to the vent glitch in Metal Gear Solid 1. It's only useful in the all camos run, you won't see it in a normal speed run. But essentially we're going to get on top of the vent here, and then we're going to touch the pain's load zone before we fall to our death, so the fight starts. After you've defeated the pain non-lethally, his camo will be on a ledge behind us. The easiest way to get to it is to travel up the slope here and use the box to be able to run at full speed, and then roll across to the ledge.
What's wrong?
There is a face paint in the warehouse. We're not actually going to pick it up this time we go through. We're going to get it on the way back.
What happened? What's wrong? Intruder. It's probably over here somewhere.
There's one face paint and one camo in the lab. The face paint is more easily accessed from this vent here. We're going to enter the vent, pick up the face paint, and then leave the way we came in. You can use the D-pad to move in any direction during intrusion view. Turning is actually much slower. We are now going to equip the scientist costume for all our time in the lab. If guards see you outside the lab in the scientist costume, they will take you to jail. But what you can do is when a guard spots you, you can equip and unequip the box, and that will reset the amount of time before you are captured.
Running away, huh? Running away.
Try not to bump into any guards in the scientist costume. If you do, you need to get out of sight quickly and don't return into that same guard's vision. The fly camo is on the first floor in the bathroom. It's kept behind a locked stall in the toilets. To get in, you do 2 punch kick combos and then 1 punch to open it. As soon as you deliver the final punch, you can walk through it as if it isn't there. When executing this leap off the balcony, you need to make sure 2 guards can't see you at the same time. 1 guard can see you and you have enough time to get to the load zone, but if 2 guards see you simultaneously, you will get an alert and a continue. Guards will not react to you in the scientist costume as long as you don't bump them, but scientists will know you're not a scientist. The way we get around this is by bumping this final scientist, which resets the amount of time before he alerts to you. On the way out, we're going to get out of the view of this guard and then use the box to leave. Scientists won't alert to the box, but guards will. At the start of the run, I selected I like MGS3. The reason for this is it gives you some additional camouflages and face paints. They're not required for the run, but the brown face paint gives you unlimited oxygen when swimming. We have to do a long backtrack section a little bit later, so that's why I'm equipping that face paint now. I've also equipped the animals camo for when my stamina eventually does drop below half. The non-lethal strat is the fastest way to defeat the fear.
Dead after all!
To safely acquire the desert face paint, we'll need to take out every guard in this room. Leaning against this wall before shooting will ensure that this guard can't see us. You cannot acquire the water face paint until you've met Granin. It's located at the start of the river after the pain fight. That's why we equip the brown face paint for unlimited oxygen. The guards will once again be awake outside the warehouse. We can execute a quick headshot on this first guard. That will make the second guard run behind these boxes, and the third guard can be killed using the barrel. You can see here why it's worth using the brown face paint. On European Extreme, guards wake up much faster after they've been tranked, so we will have to deal with 2 guards again on our return. Crouching after standing up from a ledge is actually a glitch on the HD collection. Guards inside the warehouse will also be awake again.
Huh? The enemy's here.
This is HQ.
To acquire the Moss Camo from the End, you must hold him up 3 times.
did you? I don't think so. I don't think so. Fine. Have this.
Unfortunately, where the moss camo dropped, it can't be picked up. Fortunately, I have a backup for this situation. After I knock him down again, I'm going to throw the stun grenade along his path. That will stun him for a large amount of time, allowing me to pick up the moss camo safely without losing the loot. The direction the end runs after being knocked down is based on Snake's position when he hits the ground. I always have to be mindful of where I'm standing in order to make the end run north when he's south and south when he's north. A non-lethal victory versus the end also gets us the Mosin Nagant, which we will use versus the Fury and the boss, and for bike chase as well. Please stand for the national anthem and feel free to join in if you know the words. We keep the box on long enough to attract the attention of the RPG guard, so he comes down from the mountain. That will prevent him from seeing us. And then we cook the smoke grenade to walk behind the guard without him hearing us. We need to get to this guard at the end of the mountain before our stomach growls, or he'll turn and see us. If you fire the gun at the beginning of this room, it will always headshot a guard. We must collect at least one stun grenade before bike chase. If you have 0 stun grenades at the start of bike chase, it won't give you any. If you have 1, you will have unlimited. This next room is particularly difficult to do after collecting a camo, so rather than finding a new strat to do it, I simply reset the room. This is peak speedrunner laziness.
HQ.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We're under fire. Enemy position unknown.
If you ever think you're at risk of getting seen by a guard, crouching or going prone is a great way to improve your camo index very quickly and give you more time or allow more distance before a guard will see you. I get asked very often why I use the static camera. The static camera means that the camera and my movements will always be the same in every single room. The only time I use the 3D camera is in places where it's difficult to see. So for example, going down this mountain on the way back to the Fury. To improve quickly in the speedrun in this game, you should always get used to playing in the static camera. Getting a fast fight against the Fury is 50% execution and 50% RNG. It's categorically the hardest boss in the game.
Are you ready for this? My flame suit is ripped. Quit fooling around.
About 1 in 100 Fury fights will go that well.
Sir!
Tell me,
Stop it!
who have you been talking to?
He doesn't know what you're talking about.
You'd better start talking.
Please, stop this!
Who is Khrushchev's lapdog?
How can you do this to him?
I know you gave the data to someone.
Never do
You!
that. You monster.
I guess he's dead. Now then, I hope you prove more entertaining than he was. But first, let's take a look at your body, shall we? What a beautiful body you have, like a newborn baby. But not for long. Well then, let's get started. What is your target? Is it the Shagohod? Or Sokolov? Or maybe it's the Legacy? Answer me! Who is helping you? Who let you in here? You're a tough one, but even you must have your limits. And I am a patient man.
What's wrong? Are you okay? Oh, jeez. Did you throw up? What's that sound?
In most speedruns of this game, we would equip the cigar at some point during the prison escape to begin lowering our health to end the Sorrow fight as fast as possible. However, in all camos, we're going to go all the way to the end of the Sorrows fight, and that will grant us the Spirit camo, so having more health is advantageous. You should actually grab onto the second rail to prevent any damage to Snake. None of the time during the Sorrow counts towards the IGT, so getting knocked down doesn't actually affect the speedrun. The amount of attacks that the Sorrow does during this section is completely random, and you can get all the way to the end without him doing a single attack. It could be debated that this camo isn't required for this speedrun, as you don't actually pick it up, it's placed in your inventory after you complete this boss. You must meet Eva before the face paint will spawn in the water. You can't get it before. If you're playing on European Extreme, it's really important that you pick up these Mosin Nagant bullets. We need to get Volgin's Cold War camo, which is a very difficult fight non-lethally. If you don't pick up those bullets, you won't have enough to do the fight effectively. We are now heading back into the locker room where we stashed Rykov to get the maintenance uniform and also the sneaking suit. The sneaking suit is one of the best camos in the game. It reduces damage taken by 50%. So we will wear it in this speedrun as well. It will make the Volgin fight much easier and also the bike chase. I'm going to use a mix of Mark 22 and also Mosin Nagant during this fight. The reason I don't always use the Mosin Nagant is because I don't have enough ammo. You want to use the Mosin Nagant more in Phase 2, because Phase 2 is much harder than 1.
Let's see you dodge this one!
If you're going to use the Rykov mask in Phase 2, make sure you buffer holding start to get into the menu as quickly as possible at the start of Phase 2. If you do it too late, he will already begin his attack, which is an instant kill on European Extreme. You can prone to avoid it. This was actually a mistake caused by the quick reload glitch on the Xbox version. Sometimes your gun won't fire after coming out because the game will make you put it down. That only happens on the Xbox port, it will never happen on PlayStation 3. This is why we wear the sneaking suit. I changed face paint here just because I hate the way the Rykov mask looks. If you're going for FoxHound, it's really important that you don't trank any of these guards. The Shagohod will always run them over. Occasionally if you trank guards here, after the Shagohod runs them over, they count as kills on the score screen. So you can lose FoxHound in here by no fault of your own.
I planted 4 C3 charges. 3 more bombs left. 2 more left. A little more to the left. Only 1 more left. Keep your aim steady. Keep your aim steady. Keep your aim steady.
This is what you get for showing off, I guess. There really isn't a whole lot to say during the bike chase. When we use Sneaking Suit, it's reducing 50% of the damage. If you're even slightly competent at doing the bike chase without Sneaking Suit, it's very, very simple with it.
There they are! Don't let them get away!
We feed Eva now so we don't have to pause the game again later. We're forced into the pause menu here, so we may as well do it now. You can't actually leave this menu without curing Eva. For some reason in this next room, Eva can't take damage from Snake, but just in case you don't believe me. There's no RNG in this fight, it should look the same every time. It's a technical fight and there are small windows to do every action. Never try to CQC the boss from the front. When you counter the boss, there are 3 different animations that can play and it's based on how fast you reacted to her. If you press it too early, it will always lock you out, so never press the button early, the window is quite large. She can only directly attack you or feign once and then attack you, so there's always time to react to what she's doing.
See what you're made of.
And that's the final camo. In this run we collect 17 camouflages and 6 face paints. This is also a FoxHound run, so we'll get the elusive Infinity face paint as well, and we'll get both achievements associated, Fashionista and Only Skin Deep. This was a 125.05, and I will show the credits and the score screen for leaderboard purposes. I'll also be replacing the credits music because it gets flagged. Thanks ever so much for watching. This is my second commentated video. My next video is going to be a speedrun explained of the European Extreme run. If you have any cool ideas for challenge runs, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll always consider a new challenge run. I've done quite a few so far. Big shout out to Mini Omega King, who had the original idea to collect every single camouflage and face paint in a run. And big shout out to you if you made it this far. I really do appreciate you listening, and if you did make it this far, could you write "For England, James" in the comments?
Why are you giving me this?
Jack. Or should I say, Snake. You're a wonderful man. Kill me. Kill me now. Do it. There's only room for one boss and one snake.
It's always faster to pick the revolver on the left because you will fire the bullet faster than Ocelot, and that's what ends the cutscene.
Yes, Grozny Grad and the Granin Research Facility have both been wiped out without a trace. I understand, sir, but they were necessary sacrifices. Yes, the CIA has taken care of the boss themselves. I believe the White House will be satisfied. Khrushchev is finished. Your time has finally arrived. Yes, the American president is relying on us to keep a lid on the whole affair. We've got him by the balls. It should make a valuable trump card in future negotiations. Yes, Chief Director, of course. I'll keep the KGB informed. Yes, it's me. The boss has accomplished her mission. The philosopher's legacy is now safely with us, in America's hands. With this money, yes, the philosophers can finally be revived. The film we handed the Chinese was a fake. Peking must be in an uproar right about now. I'm afraid so. Only half the money has made it back to the United States. The KGB must still have part of the legacy. Yes, the weapon has been reduced to ashes. That's right. Grozny Grad has been obliterated by the Davy Crockett we brought in as well. Yes, that was the boss's work too. Speaking of which, I've obtained something from Granin that you might find interesting. It's a revolutionary new nuclear attack system. Perhaps it might just come in handy someday. Yes, we have Snake to thank for that. Khrushchev believed it as well. Yes, they bought our story. I don't think they'll be making a fuss. The secondary alert has been lifted as well. And the Soviets still haven't discovered my true identity. They have no idea that I've been triple-crossing them. I will continue my activities as a contact for the new government. Yes, it appears that no one knew that I was Adam. Of course, I'm always at the CIA's disposal, Mr. Director.